Welcome back, sophomores. I hope you enjoyed your winter break. It's time to get back into the multimedia design course. As you know, we started last fall with multimedia design being focused on infographics and graphic design, and then we moved to sound design at the end of the fall, and now it's time for web design. So let's jump right in. I'm AJ, as you know, and I won't be teaching this whole course, but I'm always doing things in the background and looking at your work. I have to say I'm very impressed with everything you've been submitting over the fall, and I want you to keep up the good work. So what is web design? We actually had discussed calling this whole course web design because it's almost synonymous or the same thing as multimedia design, only in the sense that everything you put up on the internet at this stage is a multimedia experience. There's text, images, videos, the layout, the experience of clicking through things or actually having some interactivity is all part of a designed experience. If you think back to this past summer when you started here and we did the many uses of computers summer camp, we started the whole thing with what is design in general. And so we want you to connect that experience of thinking about and learning about design in general along with your multimedia design that you've learned last semester with your web design this semester. So that's what web design is. It's bringing all those things together, video, audio, text, and interactivity onto an internet browser such as Chrome or Safari or Internet Explorer or Firefox, whatever. And that's across multiple devices. So that's web design. So the goals of this unit, this portion of the unit, is to bring together all the multimedia stuff that you've learned, as I've just been talking about. Increase your design skills, so your visual design skills in Illustrator and your planning in that respect. Some audio, you'll see that the web design, the website that we're going to have you make actually requires you to record some audio and bring it in using SoundCloud, and more. Thinking about user experience, where to place the buttons, all that stuff. In order to actually create a website, you need to learn the basic language of web browsers, which is HTML and CSS. Also, web design and multimedia displays require a lot of organization when it comes to files. So the correct file types and extensions, but also where you're placing them and how you're referring to them in your code. And finally, we want you to make a website that is meaningful to you. So we actually are joining with the academic course this semester. And later in that course, you'll learn exactly what your content will be in your website. And that's with Bobby. But basically, by using your academic studies to determine that and using your tech to learn how to make the actual website, we hope that this website is not only a great learning experience for you, but it's something that you're proud of and that's meaningful to you. So now I'm going to hand off this week's course content to Josue. He will be your teacher for this course.
All right. Hello, sophomores. For those of you who don't know me or remember me, my name is Josue, and I'll be the lead instructor for this course. So I'll be seeing you in like a month for winter cohort. And so AJ talked a little bit about what web design is more broadly, but more specifically, when you think of technically web design, you usually think of these three programs. As AJ mentioned, HTML, which is hypertext markup language, and what that does is that it helps you create the content that goes onto your website. And then CSS, which is cascading style sheets, that is how that content is delivered on your website, so the design of it. And then JS, which stands for JavaScript, that has to do more with a little bit of the interactive features that can be on a website. Now, in this course, you will not be working a lot with JavaScript, but it is still good for you to know in case you want to go into coding and or web design in the future. You kind of know already what that is. So your website will consist of 5 pages, essentially 5 HTML files. The first file will be the splash page. The second would be the About Me page. The third is the Leader in My Community page. Fourth, the recorded interview. And then the 5 is the looking forward page, where you will talk about study skills, leadership skills, and tech skills that you may have. So it's important to keep this in mind. The way this course is going to work is that we will be first playing around with Kim's website, who, if you know Kim, she's another instructor here in ITA. And so you'll be working with that website and kind of like hacking it so that you know the in and outs of creating a website. And then once you do that, you'll get the opportunity to make your own website. So that is something for you to keep in mind. And also to keep in mind that this, like AJ said, there's a joint effort between academic and tech, so that by the end of the semester, hopefully you have a website that you're really proud of working on. So some important course due dates for this course are the following. So if you're somebody who likes to write things down, I recommend you doing that right now. So on the 19th of February is when your, version of Kim's finished website will be due. March 18th is when the final design of your website is due. That will be in a Illustrator file. And then the 22nd and 29th of April will be when the rough draft and the final draft of the website are due, respectively. And so even though our course doesn't end on the 29th, the following week, we will go into detail a little bit more later, but that is when you will be using time from the academic side to work on this website as well. So just to give you a little trailer for what this course is going to be like, I'm going to show you a couple screenshots from Kim's website. So this first screenshot is what Kim's website turned out to look like. As you can see, there's great design, and she put a lot of effort and work into the information that went into her website. She talks about herself and why she admires her mother, who the website is based on. And so as you can see there, now all that is created using HTML and CSS, which is displayed here. And so as you can see, although it may look kind of confusing right now, and you may not know what's going on, the goal is by the end of this course, this will look easy to you, and you will be able to do this without looking. So hopefully we can get you to that point. But just so you can see what goes into creating a website that looks like this. So for this week, you just have a quiz due, just to kind of ease you back into the semester and not to give you too much up front. And then as well as just to let you know that since I will be taking over this course, I want to create a GroupMe for all the students. If you would like to participate, there will be an option in the quiz for you to drop down your cell phone number so that we can create the group. And so if any of you all have any questions that can be answered through text, especially that will be coming into my phone, I can most definitely do that. So now I'm going to go into Canvas just to show you kind of what this week is going to look like on Canvas. The first thing you should know is that, as always, there's the video page, and here at the bottom you can see a to-do list, just in case you don't capture everything in the video of what you have to do. It is displayed here. There's a presentation page where you can access the very presentation we're using right now. And then third is the quiz for the week. And in this quiz, you can see the first 6 questions are based on the content that we're talking about right now. And so you should be able to answer those. The 7th question is for me to get to know you a little bit more, just to, even though I won't see you in person, I can get to know a little bit about who you are through this online course. And then the 8th question is the option for you to drop down your cell phone number for the GroupMe for this class. So one thing I forgot to mention is that even though I haven't done it yet, since my semester hasn't started, I will be using this calendar feature on Canvas so that you can see any important assignments that may be due and when they are due. Typically, they will be due on Sunday nights. As well as I'll be displaying my office hours on this calendar so that you know when you can for sure contact me, either through email or my phone number, so that you know when I'm in the office working on this sort of stuff, so that you can get a response right away. Now, feel free to contact me outside of these hours. I just don't want to guarantee that I'll respond to you right away outside of the hours that I display on this calendar. So that's just a little FYI. And so, does anybody have any questions? Yes.
Do we need to work on our websites at all this week, or do we just have to take that quiz?
No, you don't have to work on your website this week. You just have to take that quiz. Slowly but surely, we'll get to that point where you'll be working on your website every week. Yes.
And when do we actually start learning like HTML and all that code? Like, should I be learning that right now on my own? Or?
Yeah, I mean, you're always feel free to use resources like Code Academy and other websites. Feel free if you want to go into that route, but you're not required to. Next week we'll be talking about HTML, and the following week we'll be talking about CSS. So we will get to that point, just not this week. This week we're just trying to ease you back into the semester. All right, bye, sophomore. See you next week.